Hello friends, I'm coming to you today to share an exciting announcement about a return to in-person worship here at Mathews Chapel. In order to help contain this virus, we have not met in person in our sanctuary for worship since early March. And so I am delighted to share with you today that we will be resuming a form of in-person worship starting Sunday, July 19th. Now, because we are not out of the woods yet and this pandemic is far from over, the worship that we're starting on the 19th is going to look very different from the worship we had before the pandemic hit. For starters, we are only allowing 50 people in the sanctuary to worship at a time. If you want to be one of these 50 people, I need you to do two things. First, I need you to register with me ahead of time. And second, I need you to fill out a health acknowledgement form. This health acknowledgement form lets us know if you've traveled to any areas outside your normal routines, if you've been in contact with anyone who has likely been exposed to this virus, and if you're experiencing any symptoms of the virus that week. I will be at the church on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 10 to noon, starting on the 14th, for you to come register in person and to fill out your health acknowledgement form. If you are unable to be at the church at those times, you can have someone else sign up for you, or you can register with me on a phone call, text, or email. But I need a health acknowledgement form signed by you by the Wednesday before worship. Now, assuming that you've signed up with me ahead of time and you filled out your health acknowledgement form, when you get to church on Sunday, you need to be wearing a mask for the entirety of the service, from when you get out of your car to when you get back in your car to leave. We're going to have folks seated at safe, socially distanced locations throughout our sanctuary. They'll be pre-marked. And we're going to try and keep contact to an absolute minimum. And so we won't be having any handshaking or hugging, congregating together to talk, or singing as a congregation. All this is in place in order to make sure that we keep the risk of infection and contamination as low as possible during our worship service. The worship service is likely to be shortened to a half an hour to 45 minutes, and we also won't be able to do baptism or to share in Holy Communion during this initial phase. What we're hoping this worship service can offer you is a quiet, contemplative time to set apart a space and a time for you to be in God's presence, to experience God's presence in a new way, and to listen for God's voice. In these past couple months of having our lives upended, of being sequestered in our homes, it's been harder than ever to set a time, space to pray and to hear God's voice in a time of distractions and evolving headlines. And so we're hoping this new form of in-person worship will allow you to come together with your sisters and brothers in prayer, to take time for silent meditation, to listen to beautiful instrumentals, to hear scripture read and proclaimed, and to listen for God's voice in a new way. I am very excited about this opportunity. I am over the moon excited to see how God is going to use this worship service as we continue to be people that seek to follow Jesus and to grow into mature disciples. A letter has already gone out. I hope you have that letter already outlining more details about this worship and including some frequently asked questions. If you haven't got a letter, it should be coming to a mailbox near you soon. Or feel free to reach out to me or our lay leader, Willis Ann, and we can answer any questions or concerns you may have. Thank you for sharing this time with me, friends. And until I see you again, hopefully on the 19th, stay safe and God bless.